So I recently made some changes to the way the Big Box voice search plugin works and released an update over on the Launchbox forums. I thought I'd go through how to get it installed and configured with this latest version. So, Big Box voice search, it's a plugin that lets you use speech recognition, using your voice and your microphone connected to your computer to search for games inside a big box. So to get this thing set up, first thing is to download it and install it. So you go over to the Launchbox forums. I'll leave a link in the description. You can click the link to download this file. It's going to prompt you, with the terms. And there's a few versions here. You want to grab the latest version. 0.0.3 is latest at this time. Once you download that, you're going to get a zip file, bigboxvoicesearch.zip. Right click on that and extract it to a folder. Once it's extracted, you can delete that zip file. You don't need that now. So inside that folder, you got a Big Box voice search folder. Inside there is a Launchbox folder, and inside there is a plugins folder. So make a copy of that plugins folder and go over to your Launchbox folder, and wherever launchbox.exe is and wherever your plugins folder is, and you want to paste that here. If you have the old or a prior version of the plugin installed, then you probably get this prompt and you can just say to replace the files. So to get it configured, this is a Big Box theme element plugin. So you're adding an element to a Big Box theme. And the way you do that is by editing some XAML code in the theme where you want to add it. So you would do that by going into themes and picking the theme you want to edit. Generally, I'd make a copy of it. So I copy the entire theme folder and then give it a new name. So you can see all these ones I've been playing around with here. You go in, here's Banner Box. I've got Banner Box with voice, and you go inside of your copy and you go into the views folder, and inside the views folder you have all the different views that make up the theme. The way these Big Box theme element plugins work, you need to add some additional code to these things wherever you want to include that custom element. So if you want it to do a voice recognition search from platform wheel 1, you'd add custom code to platform wheel 1. If you want to do it from the game wheel, you'd need to add it to the game wheel as well. Or if you want to do both, you'd add it to both. So if you go to this link where you download this from, I've added some documentation on what code you need to add, some examples. You need to add this line to the top of anywhere that you want to add this plugin. And then here are some examples of how you might add this plugin to a theme. And so there's a couple of different activation modes, basically ways of triggering the plugin. And so I thought I would demo those different activation modes to make it a little more clear. So you can use the original way this plugin was designed. You could use page up or page down. And so let's see. Let's go over to Banner Box with voice. And this one you can see in the bottom right corner, it's configured to use page up. So you can just click page up and do a search. Contra. There you go. So I've added it to the games view as well. So Castlevania. So you can see when you do when you have it activation mode of page up, it just goes straight into speech recognition. Same thing if you were to do page down. And then let's look at another theme. Let's do all night long. So the other mode of activating the plugin is to use up, down, left, or right. So in this case, we have like a horizontal wheel here. So you're going to use your left and right keys to go through the wheel. But you don't use up or down on this one for anything. So activation mode of up works okay here. So you could push up, and rather than going straight into speech recognition, what it's going to do, you'll see that little red circle at the top left. Oh, you know what? I think I was tweaking this one. Let's go over to my themes. Let's go over to all night long. And which view is this? Platform wheel 1. Let's change this back where it was. I think I was just messing around with this. So here's where I've added the plugin. Yeah, and I had changed that from up to page up. So here's how you add the plugin to a view. You specify big box voice search main window view, and I usually put it in a grid. I don't know if this is really hacky. I'm really not good at user interface design or WPF XAML coding, but I use a grid to get it the size that I want it and the location that I want it. And you specify the activation mode. So here's where you can put up, down, left, right, page up, page down. So in this case I have up. So let's reload this theme. And so now if I push up, you'll see that red circle go to yellow. When I push up, it's considered activated. So it's not doing the voice recognition, it's just enabled. And so now you can trigger it by pressing enter. Or I can deactivate it by pressing down. So down deactivates, up activates. And then I can trigger it by pressing enter. Final Fantasy Tactics. So that's it for the activation modes. Just that with page up and page down, it goes into instant recognition. With activation mode of up, down, left, right. So with activation mode of up, up's going to activate it, down's going to deactivate it. With left, left's going to activate it, right's going to deactivate it, and so on. And with those, when you activate it with up, down, or left or right, you have to hit enter to do the voice search. And then the other thing I changed in this latest version was I got rid of, there was a visibility mode, and I replaced it with these 5 properties for the 5 different states that the plugin is in. So when you very first load into the plugin, it's initializing, it's creating the speech recognition grammar, like all the phrases from your Launchbox library that it should recognize, and then it's hooking that up with the speech recognition libraries. So there's a potential that process could fail if you don't have a default audio device for a microphone. Then the speech recognition process can't be created. So if that fails, you have these indicators. Do you want to show a special image, any image, while it's initializing, or do you want it to just not be there? And if it fails, do you want to show that it failed to give some visual cue that, speech recognition is disabled? So you could use like an initialization failed image. Or do you not want to show anything at all? So you can say true or false. And then when it's inactive, so here, this is inactive, and then when I push up, it becomes active. So when it's inactive, do you want to show it? When it's active, do you want to show it? When it's recognizing, do you want to show it? So you can do something like page up here, and you can make all these false. Let's just do that, and we'll leave recognizing set to true. So if I reload the theme, now you see there's nothing showing there, but when I push page up, it'll show. What do I want to look for? Mario. So when it's deactivated, you don't see anything at all until you're recognizing. You can actually just make this even false and reload the theme. And we're doing a voice search right now. We're doing a voice search. We were doing a voice search there, but it wasn't really indicating it because we turned all these off. So this just gives you some flexibility in how you want to see, or what you want to see based on, and how you want to activate it. And then you can, so by default, it's going to use the images in the plugin folder. So in Launchbox, plugins, Big Box Voice Search, there's a media folder, and there's a default folder. So by default, it's going to use these images. Well, not that one. That's just extra. It's going to use these images. So if it's inactive, it'll be red. If it's active, it's yellow. And if it's recognizing, it's green. And then you can override that by supplying these image paths to, they should be relative to your Launchbox folder. So it doesn't have to be in the plugins folder, but just it should be inside wherever your Launchbox exe is, then relative to that. So that's it. You can specify override images. So that's how we're able to get, like, if I change to banner box, here I have the gray microphone, and when I do a voice search, I get the red microphone. And then if I switch to Pulse has the gray microphone, and when I do the voice search, I get the green microphone. And we can go over to Unified. I think this one's using just the default stuff. So yeah, up in the top right corner, I've got the little dots, red dot, yellow dot, green dot. Obviously, these images are these aren't the best images. I'm not a great user experience or UI guy. I just, hopefully people who are more skilled at creating themes and making nice looking stuff would take this and do something with it. But that's really about it. I just wanted to show the updates.